My wife divorced me after 30 years of marriage, and I realized too late what I had done. After 30 years of marriage, my wife sat across from me at the kitchen table and said words I never thought I'd hear. "I want a divorce." No tears, no anger, just those 4 words. Delivered like she was ordering coffee. I stared at her, the coffee mug in my hand, suddenly feeling like lead, and the world tilted. How had we gotten here? Me, the guy who thought we had it all figured out. Looking back, our life seemed perfect on paper. We met in college, fell in love fast and hard. Got married young, had 2 kids, a boy and a girl, who grew up into decent adults. Jason's 28 now, works in tech out in Seattle. Emily's 26, teaching elementary school nearby. We bought a house in the suburbs, nothing fancy but solid. I worked my way up in accounting, steady job, good benefits. Paid off the mortgage last year. Susan stayed home with the kids when they were little, then went part-time at the library once they started school. We weren't rich, but we were comfortable. No big fights, no scandals, just normal. I always thought that was enough. Marriage isn't fireworks every day, right? After a while, the passion settles into routine. Mornings, coffee, quick kiss goodbye, off to work. Evenings, dinner, TV, bed. Weekends, errands, maybe a movie. We laughed sometimes, shared inside jokes from the old days. I provided the paycheck, the fixes around the house, the oil changes on her car. That's what a husband does. Romance, we had anniversaries, birthdays. I'd get her flowers from the grocery store, a card with a lame pun. She seemed happy, or at least content. I never questioned it deeper than that. Then came that day. It was a Tuesday, nothing special. I got home from work, kicked off my shoes, and found her in the kitchen stirring pasta sauce. "Hey, hun," I said, like always. She turned off the stove and gestured to the table. "We need to talk." My stomach dropped a little. Those words never mean good news, but I sat down, expecting something about the kids or bills. "I can't do this anymore," she said, her voice steady, eyes meeting mine without flinching. "I feel empty. I don't know who I am anymore outside of being your wife and their mom." I blinked, waiting for the punchline. "What do you mean?" I asked. "We're fine. We've been fine for years." She shook her head. "No, Tom, we're not fine. I want a divorce." It hit like a freight train. My chest tightened and I felt panic rising. "Is there someone else?" I blurted out, because that's what you think, right? Affairs, midlife crises, but she just looked sad. "No, Tom, there's no one else," I pushed back. "Then what? Did I do something? Tell me and I'll fix it." She sighed like she'd rehearsed this. "It's not one thing, it's everything, or nothing. I need to go." Denial kicked in hard. I couldn't wrap my head around it. 30 years, poof. I started grasping at straws. That night, I begged her to reconsider. "Let's talk to a counselor," I said. "We can work through this." She slept in the guest room. The next day, I brought home roses, red ones, her favorite. Cooked her dinner, lit candles. "Remember our honeymoon?" I said, pulling out old photos. "We were so in love." She smiled faintly, but it didn't reach her eyes. "You're trying now," she said softly. "But where were you for the last 20 years? I needed this then, not as a last-ditch effort." Her words stung because they were true, even if I didn't want to admit it. I kept pushing date nights, weekend getaways. I even suggested renewing our vows, but she was done. "It's too late, Tom. I've been alone in this marriage for so long." That's when the flashbacks started hitting me, late at night when I couldn't sleep. I'd lie there, staring at the ceiling, remembering how it used to be. In the beginning, we were inseparable. Late-night talks under the covers, whispering dreams until dawn. She'd tell me about wanting to be a writer, how she'd scribble stories in notebooks. I'd hold her hand walking anywhere, grocery store, park, didn't matter. We'd laugh over stupid things like burning dinner and ordering pizza instead. Sex was passionate, spontaneous. She made me feel alive, but life got busy. Kids came demanding everything. I threw myself into work to provide overtime, promotions. For the family, I'd say. Susan put her dreams on hold, raising the kids, keeping the house running. I thought that was the deal. I bring home the bacon, she handles the home front. Dinners became silent affairs, me checking emails on my phone, her scrolling recipes or whatever. "How was your day?" I'd ask, but half listening, holding hands, forgot about that. We'd sit on the couch watching TV, feet apart, just existing side by side. I remember one anniversary, maybe our 20th. I got her a necklace, practical and pretty. She thanked me, but later I found her crying in the bathroom. "What's wrong?" I asked. "Nothing," she said, wiping her eyes. "Just tired." I let it go, assumed it was hormones or stress. Never dug deeper. She gave up her writing completely after the kids started school, said there wasn't time. I encouraged her to go back to it once or twice, but when she didn't, I dropped it. Focused on my spreadsheets, my deadlines. The real reason came out in bits and pieces during those awful weeks before she left. We had the talk a few times, me pleading for answers. "Why now?" I'd ask. "The kids are grown, I stayed for them," she said one night, packing a suitcase slowly. "But now I can't pretend anymore. No cheating, no big betrayal, just neglect." She felt invisible. "You stopped seeing me, Tom. I'm not your wife, I'm your roommate. You provide, sure, but love, desire, making me feel wanted, that faded years ago," I protested. "I love you." "I've always loved you." She touched my arm, gentle but firm. "I know you do in your way, but I didn't leave because I stopped loving you. I left because I stopped feeling loved." That line gutted me. It was like she'd pulled back the curtain on our life and I saw the rot underneath. All those years she'd been suffering silently, smiling through it for the kids, for stability. And me, oblivious, thinking provision equaled affection. The kids' reaction was brutal. We told them over dinner one Sunday, awkward as hell. Emily's face crumpled. "What, you guys are? Divorcing, but you're like the stable ones." Jason was quieter, but I saw the shock in his eyes. "Is this because of something specific?" he asked. Susan shook her head. "No, honey, just we've grown apart." I tried to play it cool, but inside I was screaming. The house felt like a minefield after that. Emily called every day, checking on us separately. Jason flew in for a weekend, tried mediating. "Dad, what happened?" he'd ask. I'd shrug. "I don't know, son. I thought we were okay." But deep down, I was starting to see. Separation hit like a slow poison. Susan found a small apartment across town, nothing fancy but hers. She moved out quietly, no big scene. I helped load boxes into her car, feeling like a robot. "Take care," she said, hugging me briefly. Then she was gone. The house echoed after that. I'd come home to silence. No dinner smells, no how was work. Her favorite mug sat in the cupboard, untouched. I'd pull it out sometimes, just hold it, remembering how she'd sip tea while reading. The bed felt massive, her side cold and empty. I'd reach out in the night, half asleep, expecting her warmth. Mornings were the worst. Brewing coffee for one, the pot half full like always, but now wasteful. Little things piled up, stabbing at me. Her scarf in the closet, still smelling like her perfume. The garden she tended, wilting now because I forgot to water it. Photos on the walls, us smiling at weddings, vacations. But looking closer in the later ones, her eyes seemed distant. How had I missed that? Regret crashed over me in waves. I realized I'd killed our marriage slowly, not with one big mistake, but 1,000 small ones. Being busy with work, ignoring her emotional needs, assuming she'd always be there. I never asked how she felt, really felt. "You okay?" "Sure, but not what's in your heart." I thought providing money made me a good husband, but love needs more. Attention, curiosity, effort. She wasn't a fixture, she was a person with dreams I let die. I tried therapy too late. The counselor nodded as I spilled it all. "Emotional neglect is insidious," she said. "It erodes from within." Yeah, no kidding. I read books on marriage, watched videos, ironic now that it was over. Friends patted my back, "You'll find someone else." But I didn't want someone else. I wanted her the way we were. The divorce finalized quietly in court. No fights over assets, we split fair. She got the dog, I kept the house. As we signed, our eyes met. "I'm sorry," I whispered. She nodded, "Me too." But it was done. Now I'm 58, alone in this big house. Dating? Nah, not ready. The kids visit, but it's not the same. I cook for one, watch TV with the volume low. And I think about her every day, what I could have done differently. If you're reading this, married folks, don't wait. Don't assume routine is okay. Ask your partner how they feel. Listen. Show up, not just physically. Because I didn't lose my wife in that courtroom. I lost her slowly over the years, one ignored moment at a time. And by the time I realized, it was too late.